Welcome to Cap N Cork's Finishing School, where we teach you to drink what you love and love what you drink.
Welcome to Cap N Cork's Finishing School. I'm Rachel. I'm the student and the host of the Finishing School program. And each week we step up to the bar with one of our managers or subject matter experts. And this week we have Sam. And Sam, can you just tell us a little more about your role with your organization and your relationship with Cap N Cork?
I am a district manager for Republic National Distributing Company, and we are a wholesaler. And my role is wine sales. So I sell wine to Cap N Cork. We taste wine with Cap N Cork managers and ownership on a regular basis to make the best selections to bring to the stores.
Perfect. Well, today we are going to tackle the white wine category. So how is it best, or how do we define white wine?
Well, white wine typically isn't white, I guess. It's either a pale yellow color, straw, can be a little cloudy sometimes. So it's a very wide-ranging category to say white wine, because it can encompass any number of different variations or colors of yellow and flavors as well. So you can go from sweet wine like Moscato, which tends to be very clear, Pinot Grigio, Sauvignon Blanc, and within even Chardonnay, there are endless varieties and types and flavors pulled out from those wines.
So how do they, how's the process different for each of those between the dries and the sweets, and how do they get those different flavor profiles with still remaining within that white wine category?
Climate has a lot to do with it, and the grape has a lot to do with it. So let's take Riesling, for instance. It's a high sugar grape. During fermentation, yeast is either added or it's naturally present in the air. Yeast consumes sugar, and the byproduct is then alcohol. So with the sweeter wine that has more sugar, obviously that to get the desired alcohol content, the yeast is going to consume the sugar and there'll be leftover sugar. So you have a lower alcohol, higher sweet wine.
Higher sweetness,
right. And then with drier wines, say Sauvignon Blanc or Pinot Grigio or Chardonnay, same thing, it's just there's lower sugars in those wines. And what we're looking for is a balance between the sweetness, the sugar content, and the acidity. And within that, each winemaker has, a plethora of options that they can play with to make their style and what they're aiming for in their wine.
Right. How do you go about selecting the white wine that's right for you?
Kind of have to start with somewhat of a basic knowledge. If you're new to wine, typically people like to start with the sweeter style wines. Either a sweeter Riesling, and there are dry Rieslings, so read the label and ask questions. Or Moscato d'Asti, maybe something sparkling that tends to be a nice entry for people, even though some like Prosecco is dry. But typically people that are starting off can handle that. If you're not sure, ask questions. 15 years now I've been doing this, and every week I learn something new. I would say one of the best things about being in the wine business, for me at least, is I love to be proven wrong. I love being wrong. I love having an expectation of something and then it proving me wrong and going, wow, that's way better than I thought. And that's kind of the discovery of wine. You're never going to drink them all. You're never going to try them all. So buy something, try it. If you don't like it, find something else. But it involves a little bit of homework, or at least asking questions of the people that do know what the flavor profile is.
And that'll help you in the end, or the customer in the end, be able to go in and be able to select a wine, or at least talk with the managers and the staff at Cap N Cork and say, I like something that's a little more sweeter, a little more dry, and help you narrow in on a bottle that's going to be just right for you.
I think too, sometimes in America we tend to drink wine a little bit differently than the rest of the world.
How so?
We drink wine by itself. So we come home from work, kick off our shoes, pour a glass of wine, sit down and watch TV. Nothing wrong with that, I do it all the time. But the rest of the world, especially in Europe, tends to consume wine with food. And it's always on the table. You gotta remember that a lot of winemakers are making their wines based on what they think is going to pair with it food-wise. So these wines are meant to be consumed with food. Most of them at least are. And having the proper meal or something that accompanies the wine, pairs well with it, will bring out both flavors in the food and the wine.
Okay.
Not that you have to eat with these, but it's a way to, if you want to try, the food and wine pairing. Again, you can just do a simple Google search or ask a Captain Cork manager, and they're happy to help.
Cool.
So.
No, that's a really good point, is the fact that tasting a wine by itself or enjoying a wine by itself is going to have a different flavor profile than when you try it with food, just because the food is going to change your palate and change what flavors you pick up.
Absolutely.
So with a white wine, when somebody's trying it, is there an appropriate stemware, glassware that they need to be using to enjoy it?
Yeah, I mean, there are. Riedel makes, they make a single glass for every type of wine.
Okay.
If you really wanted to get technical, there's a Sauvignon Blanc glass, there's a Chardonnay glass, there's
so
a
you
number
can
of glasses.
be as detailed as you want to be.
Typically with white wine, what we like to see is not the big round goblet style, if you will. Something that has maybe a straight up and down bowl on it.
Got you.
Kind of, especially on oak wines, you want something that's going to kind of pull that aroma and shoot it up in the glass, not something with a wide mouth at the end. So, but then if you go to something like a fuller bodied Chardonnay, like Sonoma-Cutrer here, that's going to require a different glass. But I wouldn't worry too much about the stemware.
It's more about experiencing it and at least staying curious and trying it.
Right.
So what are we trying today?
This is the Kim Crawford Sauvignon Blanc.
Okay.
And we've got this. This is a New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc. This wine is extremely popular and known to have grapefruit tendencies on the nose. So it's kind of a crowd-pleasing wine. Everybody from sweet wine drinkers to dry wine lovers appreciate this wine. There are two different Sauvignon Blancs we have here, the other being Emilo Sauvignon Blanc from Napa Valley. The Napa Valley Sauvignon Blancs tend to be a little bit more grassy, herbal on the nose. So that's a big difference. Same grape, but in different regions of the world, completely different flavor profile.
Okay.
Right.
Cool.
But the acids are tart. Present kind of makes your mouth water. You get that grapefruit right on the nose and on the
That
finish
is, it's
as well.
amazing.
Yeah, very, very characteristic for New Zealand style Sauvignon Blancs.
And I could see where this would be very approachable for a larger crowd.
Right.
So this would be a great one with a dinner, that type of thing.
You're on the back patio, barbecuing, this is the perfect wine. Again, this one doesn't necessarily need food. This is kind of a nice, relaxing glass of wine you can have if you want to pair it up with something. Absolutely. But this is kind of one of those wines that people love to enjoy just by themselves.
Excellent.
Yep.
Well, Sam, thank you again for sharing your knowledge and expertise with us about white wine. If you're curious about anything that we're talking about at finishing school, any of the beer, wine, and spirits, stop by our 15 neighborhood Cap and Cork locations and talk to our managers and our staff. They have Sam at their disposal, as well as years of knowledge and expertise to share with you. If you want to find out first what's going on at Cap and Cork, sign up for our email newsletter at capandcork.com. Well, Sam, this wouldn't be finishing school if we didn't finish our drinks.
Cheers.
Cheers.
That's all for today. Class dismissed. We'll see you right back here next week.